light television for children, light television kids shows. This is the pilot for the new series called Light Television Kids Shows. This pilot is being brought to you in Missoula, Montana. Hi, welcome to Spontaneous Music for Children and Adults. I'm Nan Cohen. This is Missoula, Montana. This is the pilot for my new series called Light Television Kids Shows. This is where light television expands into the greater community, focusing on children and the adults that support them in taking care of the planet together. What we can do together to take care of the planet. Here's what Spontaneous Music for Children is doing this. I'm about to interview the coordinators of Spontaneous Music for Children, Jennifer Slayden and Mohan. What is Mohan's last name? He'll tell you during the interview. Thank you.
Frankie, you were awesome today. You're good.
Hi, so these are the coordinators of Spontaneous Music for Children, and your names are?
Mohan, Kartha.
Jennifer Slayden.
It's a real honor for me that both of you accepted my invitation to do this. I consider this a very, very big deal. So thanks a lot. This is a very, very magical event that happens here every month. So do you both want to talk about Spontaneous Music for Children, how it started, what it's about, everything that you'd like to say to the children and the adults that are watching about this?
Yeah, we could do it. We could try to do it. I moved to Missoula about 3.5 years ago, and I had done similar things in Washington, D.C. area and Maryland area, organizing children and creating spontaneous forms of music. I didn't do it in a leadership role. I more or less was assisting other musicians who had done it. So when I came to this community, I started doing it with the schools. I started going to my son's class, and I saw that children have a lot of music in Missoula too, as everywhere else. So I thought it'll be nice to sort of replicate what was happening in Washington and Maryland, having sessions where musicians, parents, and children come together and create more or less spontaneous forms of music. And then I was playing with a group that John Hancock organizes at the hospital, and I met Jennifer Slayden there, and I told her and John and others about this dream of mine, and Jennifer was very enthusiastic about it, and we started talking more, right?
Right.
How it started.
The other thing was we had talked about why we weren't involved in the adult forms of the quiet drum and percussion, and both of us have small children, and his wife was pregnant with their second child, and we just realized that we did not have time for that, but why not combine our love of our children with our love of music and start something that the children can be involved in? So we were just naturally combining the two things that we love the most, probably, and it just seemed natural to move forward with this as a group. So.
Yeah, I want to add something about the word spontaneous. I thought about it quite a bit because whenever I have watched children, normal children and children with challenges, physical disabilities, mental disabilities, I saw that all of them have some form of music in them. So either it's a song or a memory of music from their past, going to a concert, or rhythms of all sorts. And I thought that in, in situations where people go to listen to music, all this musicality is sort of suppressed. Not that I dislike going to listen to music. We sit quietly and we listen, we consume. But I thought that children should have an opportunity in a background, in a framework of real musicians, people like Jennifer, who plays the cello, and Sam Taylor, who you saw in the program earlier, who plays violin, and his wife, Annalisa, who are musicians, who have been musicians for years and years. But with their music, have the children's rhythms and children's expressiveness incorporated with that and see how it goes. And oftentimes in our culture, in our time, spontaneity is sort of seen not so freely. You know, people think spontaneity means license, you know. But you saw that the children had an understanding of what was going on, and sometimes they might make errors, but errors are teachers, you know. So spontaneity is a very important aspect of it. But we also have some preparedness behind it. It's not totally free-for-all type of spontaneity. And for example, Jennifer had those songs. Those are rehearsed songs, but the singing is spontaneous. You know, it is. The children didn't know what they were going to sing. Don't you agree that? Spontaneous.
And I'd like to add a little bit to the spontaneous part of it. So many of the structured music teachings, it seems like, in the United States and just seem to be so prepared, you know, and the children aren't quite the focus of it. Whereas here, when they're doing their spontaneous music, the adults just can join in with them and kind of create maybe more of a sense of cohesiveness, but the children are the center. They start the rhythms, they start the music themselves. The music is coming from inside of them, and we're merely there to just kind of guide it and to keep it going in the right direction, wouldn't you say? Mm-hmm. And so the center, and that's why we enjoy our layout being, you know, the seats around in the circle and the children in the center and the adult musicians for the most part out of the center, so the children can always be the main focus.
I have a question. So what you do is you put down rugs in the center of this community center, and then you put the instruments on the rugs, and then invite the children to come and pick the instruments that they'd like to play, however many there are, depending on how many people there are here. Is that how it works?
Correct. Yeah, they can just share and they can pick and choose. The instruments are scattered all about as you walk in the door. They can kind of pick and choose, see what's there. The other point I wanted to make was not just the community musicians who come in, but the children teaching the children. As you saw my niece here with her violin, we've had other children play violin before. The gal who was, the little girl who was playing piano today. I think that children see other children playing music, and that inspires them sometimes more so than seeing an adult do it, because adults are always telling children what to do. But if they see another child playing an instrument, they think, well, you know, that might be kind of neat. I think I could do that myself. And so I think the children really inspire each other. I notice that they prompt each other to pick up instruments. And if one's doing another rhythm, if you watch real close, you'll see maybe the little girl or the little boy next to that child imitating and what the child next to them is doing. And therefore they learn as a group that way. So that is really a neat thing to watch and to witness.
Hi. I'm Nan. Do you want to say your names?
Catlin and Alice.
Hi, Catlin and Alice. Hi. Why are you here at Spontaneous Music for Kids?
I've been coming since they started, which is about 5 months ago. And I've talked with Mohan about what his dream is, and I support him in his goal to have a gathering where kids can really get some hands-on experience with playing music. And it's definitely very important and hard to come by, I think, these days, for kids to get together with adults and really participate and focus in on music. So I've been enjoying helping him get this started.
Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. This is very important, what's going on here.
I just started playing with Catlin a little bit ago, and what I've really enjoyed most about playing with her is playing at events where we're able to get involved with the people very much, instead of just performing and having people sit and listen. You know, they're dancing or they're playing music themselves, and so that's why I came today with her. This is my first time at this program.
Next question is, how do you feel about this?
It's been really fun. Every month it's different. There's always different artists that are featured and different games that we do and different kids that come. There tends to be a lot of little kids, and what I'd like to see is more kids that are a little bit older coming too, that can to see, and to because there's a lot of things that I think that we can do for kids in the 7 to 10 range that might not have the opportunities elsewhere to play music. So I love it. It's really fun, and Mohan and everybody are really positive people to work with, and they know a lot. It's really just listening to Mohan play all those little instruments was wonderful, because I've never heard those instruments played by someone who actually knows what they are and how to play them, and I love that part.
So kids, there's your invitation to come to this. All of you, come on down.
Yeah.
Same question.
Same question. I feel that it's really positive. I was really impressed coming here and seeing the kids respond, especially, and seeing the adults get involved too. I just think it's a wonderful way to come together, and I'd like to do more of it, I think. So, yeah, good feeling about it. That's all.
What are the instruments that you play?
I play violin, and I've played around with different kinds of music all my life. I started out playing classical, and I've played with Irish and jazz and old time. So in a way, I wish I could really focus in on one kind of music and learn it really well. But it's really fun also to explore different cultures by exploring different kinds of music.
That's an important point that you bring up about exploring other cultures. I want to make sure I remember to talk with Jen and Mohan about that. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they'll bring it up before I do.
I guess I come from a more limited background. I play banjo, and mostly just old-time banjo from the Appalachian region of this country, and I really like it because it's one kind of music that's indigenous to this country. It makes me feel really rooted in a tradition that came from here. And I play the old style with the clawhammer frailing style of banjo that came with the African people who came to this country. And so I enjoy it. I enjoy the rhythmical quality to it, and the fact that it's not just a string instrument that makes melodies, but it's also a rhythm instrument and a drum. So I felt I could really fit in here with this crowd today because I could beat on it like a drum. So that was neat. Yeah.
And I'd like to say that playing with Alice has really been fulfilling for me because she's rooted in this music, and it's very natural for her, and so for me it's grounding to play with her, and I feel inspired to learn more about this particular style. It's really fun, and she also clogs and sings, and so she's got the whole works around this culture of music playing. So
All of this impresses me. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Sounds like your program that you're going to be doing is really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing it because I probably share the same values. I definitely want to see people moving in a direction towards doing things that are wholesome for themselves and beneficial as a community, which is always beneficial for the planet. And I share your concerns. I think there's a lot that we can do that's really fun and really good to make changes.
I agree, and I think that's where it is. I think that's a key.
Yeah, I'd say Catlin summed it up very well, but thanks for interviewing us today.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. Thanks for wanting to be interviewed. Appreciate your answers. Thank you very much. think it's a very supportive, sharing environment. And that's one of the main reasons why I invited you to be on the Light Television Kids shows. This is the pilot for the new series that's going to be around the country. It's going to be nationwide. So Rick and I will be traveling around, looking for people who are making a major difference, children and adults, together for the world, for Mother Earth, and right here in Missoula. So this is spontaneous music for children is a very, very important event, a very important idea, a very important, what other word?
We call it spontaneous music by children.
My mistake.
Yeah, by. Although there is for too, the musicians are playing, but the center is the children, their music and their rhythms. We respect them, however simple or however primary they are, and we welcome them. And John had brought another whole bag of instruments. So if we had, say, 28 kids instead of 19 or 20 today, we would have had more instruments. But as Jennifer was showing, you don't need instruments. You can play with your fingers. That is one of the things I visualize. I have a great respect for our bodies and how nature or God, if you will, has created our fingers, because in most music it is the voice and the fingers. And in all these instruments, the fingers are used in various ways. And I would like to show the children and learn from them and allow them to learn from each other and from musicians how fingers play a role in creating music. And also, my experience is that fingers, when you use fingers in playing music, it creates other levels of order. Musicians have often talked about an inner peace they have. I believe that musicians don't commit too many crimes. I don't know the statistics, but because a lot of their aggression and a lot of their negative feelings can be expressed through the music, and so you don't have to take it out on society or another member. So a lot of chaotic feelings, negative feelings, as well as positive and creative feelings can be actualized through the hands, through the voice. This affords them an opportunity to do that.
And I think you can really see that in the children when they're here too. Their face lights up, when they learn a rhythm or they be involved in a song or a piece. You don't really see any arguing with these children. You just see them all really quite happy, and it's just the power of music is just so blatant, And
you can see that progression during the time, when they come in, they are iffy and sort of backing off, and then slowly they come, and then toward the end, like you were saying, Jennifer, they become very active. They smile more, and they're dancing more, and they are more loosened up. And that is the power of music, their own music, and the music that they'll listen to. And we have had some sessions where I thought we had magical moments of transformation. I watch the kids, they come tight-faced, and probably they had a fight with, a brother or a sister or with themselves. And then, and we are doing these foolish things and, silly things. And sometimes we have used jokes and riddles and stuff like that. And they see we adults in a different setting. We are playful. And we are sort of taking the risk of appearing okay, and loosening up. And then they change too. And to me, that is the magical moment. I watch a kid who came with a pursed lip, and then he goes out, loose and really jiving, and that is a nice psychological transformation. And I think music and dance are the only things that can do it so miraculously Yeah.
It does not take long to see that transformation. And just to add to that too, I almost enjoy sometimes watching the adults more than the children, because adults in this day and age do not get the opportunity to play. I mean, we have responsibilities and obligations, or it's not socially correct for us to, act this way. But what Mohan, I think, would agree with me, that we've really encouraged all the parents to not drop their kids off here, to come in, to be a part of the group, because it really is a group thing. It's something that parents and children can do together that will strengthen their bond and create that sense of play between them. And I love watching the adults. When I was doing that German song today, I just love watching the adults, just get in. And at first they feel even more timid than the children, I think. But then the children get a kick out of watching the adults, let down their guard and in a safe environment that they can just have a sense of play. And it probably makes the adults feel just as good as the children, so.
I agree. I had fun. I was doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we should rename it Spontaneous Music by Parents and Children, or Adults and Children.
Or spontaneous music for adults by children.
I forgot to kiss my wife. See anything? Yeah. See anything? Yeah. Yeah. There's a cave. There's a cave. Here it is. Let's look inside. Let's look inside. See anything? See anything? There's a lion. There's a lion. Got your gun? Got your gun? Yep. Got your ammunition? Got your ammunition? No. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Several other participants have been people who have no children of their own. Last time we had a couple, and one of the women had actually called me and said she would like to come, and she likes children very much, although she has no children of her own. So this is another opportunity too for adults to interact with children who have no children of their own.
The transformational power of kids.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Combined with music, that's really, really powerful.
Live music. I want to underline live and acoustic. We had an electronic instrument. We have very seldom electronic instruments. They are wonderful inventions, but my feeling is that the acoustic sound, the real, you were saying Mother Earth, the cello made of Mother Earth's trees, and the drums made of Mother Earth's trees again, and animal skin. I think they also have a transformative power. Electronic music also is important in the scheme of human life, but I think oftentimes people buy a keyboard or an electronic instrument, but sometimes it is important to have acoustic and instruments made of sun-cured gourds and trees and natural things. I think we should let ourselves be transformed by those kind of forces too. That is another thing. We have lots of things made of gourds, bamboo and natural things like that. And I think children will like them too. Um, they are aware of the power those things have.
I have two questions, definitely on board here. One is the vision for spontaneous music by children, the vision, the mission, whatever words you prefer. And the other one is, where are we?
We are at the Community Villages Center on the campus of the University of Montana housing. And our vision, in 50 words or less.
Up to you, however many words.
Well, I can't speak for Mohan. We have talked a little bit about our vision, but for spontaneous music by children, I think that we just like to continue to grow the program, to get the word out, to invite children that may not have musical opportunities in their day-to-day life to be a part of it and to be able to have the opportunity to see live music, to participate in rhythms, to grow the program. And we're this year under the Montana Council of Arts, kind of an umbrella, as we'd like to eventually maybe file for a nonprofit status. And so donations are always welcome to continue getting musicians of the caliber that we've had to participate and to continue the program on, hopefully to the next level, which I will let Mohan take that.
Buying instruments is one of the things here. In terms of vision, what I have thought about is to have this kind of events more. Not necessarily by the two of us, but other musicians can do it. Actually, Jennifer developed it into a Montessori school in the area. They are interested in this kind of a thing because the Montessori system doesn't have anything for music per se. And in other schools or other youth programs, rehabilitation programs for disabled children with disabilities, it doesn't have to be under our umbrella. If people replicate it and take up this idea and cultivate it, more music in the community, more spontaneity, and the spontaneity, has another angle. When we talk of music, we talk about classes and long and arduous practice, which is all very beautiful. But sometimes some kids don't have the time, they don't have the money to take classes and stuff. So even playing a drum or a bell or a xylophone, which doesn't take a whole lot of dexterity or digital skills to do, is also music. We have to learn that from Africa and Asia and some countries where some music is only a tone, la, 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 and then somebody will play something else. But this person gets a lot of expressiveness, even it's only three tones. So the more is not necessarily better in music. So maybe one tone. There is a disabled child out there who can only shake a bell, but maybe you can put him or her with a cello player and create a a whole of music which is quite good, of where the child with disability is providing a basic rhythm, you know. So I think that we should think in terms of simple forms of music, which are quite satisfying too. And all children deserve those kind of things, not just the prodigious, very highly skilled children who become, you know, violin players and cello players and whatnot. So my vision is music on a wider basis, you know, every week maybe, and you know.
And that children who may not have the income for private lessons would have the opportunity to be involved in music. That is one thing we've talked a lot about, and it just, every child does deserve to have that music that they naturally are born with, have an opportunity to bring it out in a setting that's beneficial for them. And unfortunately, there are a lot of children that have really never been exposed to music because maybe financial restraints or just their environment. They've never been exposed. And I feel so blessed that I was exposed from an early age from a musical family. And I just envision being able to share that gift with other people. And as Mohan said, maybe get other people in the community who are musicians to start facilitating things like this, you know.
There was a very touching moment in the fourth or the fifth session. A group of kids came from YWCA. They were here today too, but not the same kids. And the organizer had said that these kids are from sort of deprived backgrounds, and they participated. And then one of the kids came to me and said, "I have had a wish to hold a violin for a long time." So I gave him my violin. Actually, that was lent to me by a East Coast Foundation for doing this kind of work. I have a good quality violin they have loaned to me. And he held it and he scraped the bow across it and he was very happy. And then the lady, she called me a month later and said they worked on this idea and they are trying to have private lessons for this kid who had a desire for the violin. And I thought this is a beautiful social result, you know. Not only apart from the spiritual part of it, a child with no means was being supported by a YWCA to take violin lessons. So we facilitated that, and that was a very happy moment for me, you know. And hopefully, maybe we will be able to raise money, and one day, a parent will come and say, "We like Sam Taylor to be a violin teacher for my son, but we have no money." Maybe we can say, "Okay, we arrange for the classes. Maybe Sam will organize classes for less money than he normally takes, and we will sponsor it when we have the money."
Right.
We have.
So key again, we are under the Montana Arts Council, and donations are certainly welcome.
Yeah, people can write the check to Montana Arts, which is a 501c3 organization, you know, just tax exempt. And then Montana Arts will supervise our spending. They will not allow us to waste it on a Stradivarius. They'll say, "Oh, something less ambitious, and we can buy instruments and get discounts and stuff through them." So people are welcome to contribute money. And Montana Arts is based in Bozeman, and they have a very rigorous system of, you know, auditing and accounting and stuff. And they pay, if we buy instruments, they pay the shop, the store directly. So that minimizes mismanagement by, you know, a local group. So people can trust our work through the umbrella, you know, organization. And, you know, definitely the vision is to expand it and to bring more musicians in. We have a harp player who works with us. She wasn't here today, and we have had various. There was a man who came to a few sessions. He plays the viola da gamba. Maybe if we can pay some money to some of the musicians, you know, more musicians will come. So more musician participation, more community outreach. You know, this is part of our vision.
Hi.
Hello, I'm John Hancock, and do you want me to just talk about spontaneous music by children?
That would be great to share your experience, whatever you'd like to say about spontaneous music with children.
Well, the real credit of spontaneous music by children goes to Mohan, Kartha, and Jennifer Slayden, who created this. And my role in all of this is that we approached Tom Benson, the organizer of First Night Missoula, about doing an audience participation program involving the children in a spontaneous setting. And then later on, we have the quiet drum and percussion, which is sort of the adult version of that. And so our plan right now is to go over to the first night parade and have a little bit of a demonstration there, maybe to whet the appetites of some of the citizenry of Missoula. And then we have two performances at Unity Church later that afternoon of December 31st.
Great. How can people get involved in spontaneous music for children? And what's it called? Quiet?
Quiet drum and percussion.
Oh, it's wonderful. I've been there and I love it. How can people get involved in it?
Well, the easiest way, because I work directly with Mohan and Jennifer, and then of course organize the quiet drum and percussion, is my phone number is 721-2789, or the email works very, very well. We're very responsive to email at jhmslmt@aol.com. Those would be the two main ways to get a hold of us.
Wonderful. Anything else?
No, not really. I mean, we're really looking forward to doing these performances. We're going to have a sort of an intense schedule going on for the adult version of this, the quiet drum and percussion, coming up in December. And I want to just emphasize that, as you saw today, both the spontaneous music by children as well as the quiet drum and percussion, there's always instruments for the children and adults to share. It's a largely improvisational setting, so come join us.
Another question comes forward. How do you feel about all this?
Well, it's a wonderful feeling to be almost 50 years old and you can be a kid again, and then not have to look around and feel silly about the whole thing. And it's really great to see the children yet have another outlet. And this becomes, I think, really, really important as we get into the winter months. It gets cold and we're indoors, and it's just another opportunity to interact with kids.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, John. Another question. You said that the little girl, the 3-year-old, plays the violin. Is that true? The little girl that was with her parents over there on the camera.
She's taking lessons. Her
A
name is
1/16
Alyssa.
size.
Her name is Alyssa. She will probably come next time to play. I asked her, and she was, thinking about it. Maybe she will come. And maybe next time we can have a total focus on children performers. I know several violin, but I want other types of instruments too. Violin is a popular instrument, but flute, there's a local teacher, Catherine Skinner. She has some children who are learning under her, and she has been cooperating and helping us with recruiting, musicians. So maybe flute, violin, and maybe some guitar and stuff. Children's performances. And if anybody among the listeners have children, you can contact us, and we could think about that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Spontaneous music will be 10:30 to noon here, so an hour and a half. They can contact me or Mohan. My number is 258-2038. And Mohan's
728-9193.
And we do request that people, if they think they are going to be coming with their children, to call us so that we have a head count for how many children we will have. So.
Why do you come to this?
Just because we want to. Because we want to do something. It's really fun to play music.
Why do you come to this?
Well, I like coming here because there's tons of things to do instead of be lazy.
What musical instruments do you like to play?
I like to play the triangle, but my cousin Mason wasn't actually playing music.
What about you? What kind of musical instruments do you like to play when you're here?
Guitar and piano sometimes.
Wow. So you come here because it's fun?
Yes.
You come here because you get to be creative?
Sometimes we get to be creative, but not most of the time. Well,
Okay. I noticed that you were dancing before. Do you want to talk about that?
yeah. I was doing that what the little sugar plum fairies did in the sugar plum. They moved their feet like this.
Yay! It looks like ballet to me.
Yeah, it's ballet.
I'm thinking of some more questions to ask you. Does being here help you with your life when you're not here?
It's kind of, because the only thing it helps us do is get to know the instruments and learn how to do stuff like that. Getting taught like in school. It's kind of like school at the weekend.
School at the weekend. And you? Do you have an answer? Okay.
It helps me a lot because I like playing instruments because we have tons at home.
You have tons of instruments at home? What do you have at home?
a piano and a guitar and a violin and drums.
Drums? A piano, violin, guitar, and drums? That's cool. What would you like to say to other children about spontaneous music for children?
I'd like to say that it's really fun. You should come here because you can learn something, and we're right next to the big park, close to the university, and it's just really fun. And I'd like to come. I bet you'd like to come. Well, I want them to come because it's fun and you can learn how to play new instruments.
And I wonder, would they also meet new children, make new friends?
Yeah, they will, because eventually they will. They will, because it's really fun. People like meeting new friends or else they'll be lonely or bored.
So it's a good cure for loneliness and boredom?
Yeah.
You hear that? What else? Anything else?
Yeah. And for the parents, you could talk to other parents here. Just see how much it costs. I think it costs $80, but I'm not sure.
What costs $80?
To come to here. To be like here and play the music.
I think maybe the room costs money, but I think it costs just a little. People are welcome to contribute a few dollars if they want to be here, but it's not mandatory. You don't have to pay money to come here. Spontaneous music for children and adults. Anything else?
Yes. You should really come here, and it's really fun.
What would you like to say to these kids that are watching?
Well, if you come, you should have fun here.
Do you have fun here?
Yeah.
Do you have fun here?
Yeah.
I know I'm having fun here. Thank you. Want to say something else? Great.
Thank you for watching. Thanks.
Thank you for watching. This is Nan from Spontaneous Music for Children and Adults in Missoula, Montana.